Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Jumai Manson. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on NICOMSAT. Now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has indicated his intention to reshuffle his cabinet. Special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, confirmed this to State House correspondent at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Queen Agaba completes the report.
Special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, noted that contrary to insinuations in some quarters, the current government has recorded significant achievements in its quest to transform the economy, of which members of the public are unaware. Ononuga noted that President Tinubu has ordered his ministers to ensure they engage the public by publicizing what the government is doing in their various ministries.
As a cabinet reshuffle, let me tell you, I don't have any timeline. The president has expressed his desire to reshuffle his cabinet, and he will do it. I don't know whether he wants to do it before October 1, but he will surely do it. The president actually gave an order to all his ministers to go out there to speak about the activities of his government.
Explaining further the reason for Tinubu's decision, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Digital Strategy, Engagement and Communications, Otega Ogra, says it is based on empirical evidence. Ogra noted that during the retreat that was organized for the ministers shortly after their inauguration in August 2023, Tinubu made it clear that there will be periodic reviews of their performance, which will guide the president's decision.
We also need to realize that the president's decision to reshuffle is also based on empirical evidence. You know, he has said it when he was doing the retreat for the ministers that it was going to, they were going to have periodic reviews, and the decisions that are extracted from those reviews will be used to make that final decision. I know he's gotten a couple of reports, and as Mr. Ononuga said, when he's ready to do that, I believe he will.
It could be recalled that the cabinet was constituted in August of last year. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting.
United States First Lady Jill Biden has hosted a farewell luncheon for First Ladies from around the world, including Nigerians Oluremi Tinubu, on the sidelines of the 79th United Nations General Assembly in New York. Reflecting on the relationships built during her tenure, Jill noted that this would be her final such a gathering as First Lady of the U.S. She expressed her gratitude for their continued partnership in promoting peace and development worldwide, assuring them that relationship will continue even after she leaves office in January 2025. Over now to the federal government has approved the increase of core members' monthly allowance to 77,000 naira with effect from July 2024. A statement signed by the NYSC Acting Director of Information and Public Relations, Caroline Embu, the approval was contained in a letter from the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission and signed by the Chairman Ekbo Inta in line with the enactment of the National Minimum Wage Amendment Act 2024. Now, before the increase, core members were paid a monthly allowance of 33,000 naira, following an upward review of minimum wage to 30,000 naira in 2019. The Nigerian Senate has confirmed Justice Kudirat Kekere Ekun as substantive Chief Justice of Nigeria. She is the 23rd person to hold this esteemed position and the second female to do so. Justice Kekere Ekun's confirmation followed a request from President Bola Tinubu, who nominated her for the role. Uyi Agbomofuegbe has details.
The plenary, led by President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, suspended its rules to allow Kekere Ekun answer questions during the confirmation hearing. During the screening process, lawmakers questioned her on various judicial matters.
I will ensure that the code of conduct is fully complied with. I will ensure that there is zero tolerance for corruption.
Kekere Ekun emphasized the importance of maintaining judicial integrity and adhering to ethical standards. She argued that there should be limits on cases reaching the Supreme Court, particularly regarding pre-election matters, stressing that such cases should conclude at the Court of Appeal. While highlighting the need for timely handling of petitions by the National Judicial Council, Justice Kekere Ekun also called for measures to insulate the judiciary from external influences.
I am of the view that many matters should terminate at the Court of Appeal, especially interlocutory appeals. There's also a situation where pre-election matters come all the way to the Supreme Court, whereas in national and state assembly elections, the substantive elections terminate at the Court of Appeal.
Before this appointment, Justice Kekere Ekun had been acting as CJN since August 23, 2024, following Justice Kayode Ariwola's retirement. She has served as a Supreme Court Justice since 2013 and is recognized for her significant contributions to Nigeria's judiciary. Uyi Agmofwebe, reporting for Global Television News.
The Association of Nigerian Students has called on the federal government to meet with the leadership of the Academic Staff Union of Universities regarding the recent strike threat. Association Senate President Akinteye Babatunde was responding to a fresh 14-day ultimatum issued by the Academic Staff Union of Universities over failed negotiations with the federal government. The student body noted that a strike is not advisable at this time. The Federal Executive Council is proposing a bill that will see 30% of allocations received by Tertiary Education Trust Fund go to the Student Loan Scheme. The bill seeks to amend Section 3 of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund Act No. 16, 2011, labeled Establishment of Tertiary Education Trust Fund. The Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, revealed this while briefing State House correspondents at the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja. Ononuga says this former part of the Omnibus Economic Stabilization Bill 2024 was considered and approved at the Council meeting for onward transition to the National Assembly. In another development, the Federal Executive Council is proposing an amendment to the National Identity Management Commission to allow for foreigners living in the country to be issued a national identification number. The Council also proposed the Economy Stabilization Bill to pave the way for the taxing of foreigners living and working in Nigeria. The two proposed legislations are aimed to expand the scope of registrable persons to enable foreign individuals with a taxable presence or taxable source of income in Nigeria and make provisions for the mandatory use of national identification number for transactions which are relevant for tax administrations and for related matters. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi-San has denied claims that a United States District Court authorized lawyer Ernest E. Williams to seize $21 million from Nigerians' accounts with J.P. Morgan. The Ministry of Justice, in a statement signed by the AGF, clarified that the inaccuracies first published by an online media platform were completely false. The statement criticized the report for failing to seek the ministry's response as he challenged the media outlets to provide a copy of any U.S. court order related to the alleged seizure. Imo State Independent Electoral Commission has issued certificates of return to 27 elected local government chairmen across the state. Chairman of the commission, Charles Ejogu, says the event is in line with the Electoral Act. Imo State correspondent Amarachi Ibe completes the report.
This is Imo State Independent Electoral Commission, ISEC, in Owerri, capital of the state. The Commission's office is filled to the brim as politicians and well-wishers come in their numbers to witness the collection of certificates of return by the elected 27 local government chairmen across the state.
The Commission will formally hand over certificates of return to the council chairman. And what has just happened in Imo State is a concrete demonstration of the will and determination of the people.
Some of the elected chairmen expressed joy.
What are the expectations from the chairman? More work, more responsibility, more commitment, and most importantly, to prove and justify the confidence in the
Political analyst says the occasion is in line with relevant provisions of the law. Recall that Saturday's election witnessed the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, sweeping the local government areas election by winning the 27 local government areas across the state. Amarachi Ibe, Global TV News.
A Kano State High Court has issued an interim injunction restraining 19 political parties from taking any actions to stop the upcoming local government election in the state. Justice Sanisu Ma'aji delivered the ruling following a motion ex parte filed on September 20th by the Kano State Independent Electoral Commission. The plaintiff in the suit, the defendant, included Accord Action Alliance Labour Party, New Nigerian People's Party, People's Democratic Party, and 14 others. As part of efforts to sanitize the drug distribution channel in Lagos State, pharmacists have urged Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to replicate the coordinated wholesale center established in Kano State to help combat the issue of fake drugs. The pharmacists under the aegis of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria Lagos State chapter believe that setting up a CWC in Lagos will address the challenges of drug abuse and the sale of counterfeit and expired medications. Speaking at the event in Lagos to commemorate the 2024 World Pharmacists Day, the pharmacist highlighted the need for such a center in the state. You're watching Midday News on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When Midday News returns, President says Africa must end raw material export, goods importation. Details of these and more after this break. Please stay with us. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcasts of Midday News. Thank you for staying with us. On our business desk now, President Bola Tinubu says extracting new materials in Africa without processing locally is keeping the continent poor and underdeveloped. He warned against the dire consequences of Africa's long-standing profile as a supplier of raw materials to countries of other continents, saying the position had added to the continent's misery. Tinubu made this observation while delivering his keynote address during the African Mineral Strategy Group meeting on the sidelines of the ongoing 79th season of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, United States. China's top leaders, including President Xi Jinping, admitted that the economy was facing new problems and vowed to resolve a long-running housing sector crisis. Beijing this week unveiled a raft of new measures aimed at boosting its aligned economy, which the leadership aims to grow by 5% in 2024. Beijing will adjust housing purchase restriction policies, lower interest rates on existing mortgage loans, and promote the construction of a new model of real estate development, Xin said. On our foreign desk, French President Emmanuel Macron arrived in Canada for a visit that will focus on the promotion of French language and artificial intelligence. During the trip, his second since his visit in 2018 for a G7 summit, Macron will hold several meetings with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in Ottawa and then in Montreal. Macron will discuss the promotion of French language and culture in Canada beyond the Francophone province of Quebec. 6 inmates died after a fire ripped through the cell in a prison on the outskirts of Hungary capital Montevideo. The Interior Minister says the cause of the blaze of Santiago Vincennes, the biggest prison in the Latin African country, was unknown. 6 cared bodies were found in a locked cell in an area where the other cells were all open, the ministry said. It added that the prisoner from an adjoining cell was taken to the prison hospital for treatment. France unveiled a proposal for a 21-day ceasefire in Lebanon in UN diplomatic push with the United States as the death toll mounted from strikes by Israel against Hezbollah. Shortly after talks at the United Nations between President Joe Biden and Emmanuel Macron, France outlined a proposal at an Emergency Security Council session. French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot said that the two Western powers were proposing a truce of 21 days to allow all negotiations and a more sustainable ceasefire. In sports now, former two-time heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua is set to pocket more than double Daniel Dubois' earning for their IBF heavyweight showdown at Wembley. Despite suffering a knockout loss in the 5th round, according to a report, Joshua was guaranteed £6 million for showing up, with potential earning raising to £25 million, depending on pay-per-view. The Boris, who upset the odds to knock out Joshua, is reported to have a guaranteed purse of €3.5 million, which could raise to €10 million. Still on sports, Real Madrid striker Kylian Mbappe has sustained a thigh injury ahead of this weekend's La Liga derby with Atletico, his club says. The French superstar was taken off during the 3-2 win over Alives and appeared to be suffering some discomfort. Spanish media suggests Mbappe will miss around 3 weeks injury following tests carried out by Real Madrid's medical service on our player Kylian Mbappe. He has been diagnosed with an injury to the biceps foramus in the left leg, said the Spanish Championship in a statement. That's it on Midday News, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Remember, we are on DSTV, channel 365, Star Times, channel 276, and free to air on NICOM site. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms by using a Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching. Good afternoon.